friends, this is Anila. Today I have a video showing you a card using these two new releases for the month of March, Clouds and Waves stencil and You Are So Rare stamp set. To begin with, I have this top folding white cardstock. I'm just going to stick it on my base paper and I am going to distress some part of it using distress oxides. So I'm just sticking it onto my paper using washi tapes. Now I'm going to use some scrap papers and mask off some part of this card so that I will distress the remaining part of it. So this is how I'm going to mask off the top portion. Similarly, I'm going to mask off the bottom portion of the card. I'm using distress oxides. I'm going to create the ocean look in the portion that is open. I have once again put the scrap paper onto it and now I'm going to use the stencil over the distressed area. I'm just going to use my mini mister and I'm going to just spray all over the waves part of the stencil. I'm not using the clouds, I'm just using the waves part and I'm just going to spray it from a distance. Once this is done, I'm just going to place this onto my distressed portion. I have to make sure which part of the design I want to be seen onto the card, so I'm going to place it accordingly. After placing, I'm just going to use a tissue towel and dab it. So here you have the stenciled look of it. You can even dab whatever is like the wet portion and let it dry now. And here is the stenciled look onto my card. Now I'll just let this dry. You can heat set it at this point, but I'm just going to let it dry on its own, let it air dry. By the time I'm going to prepare my other elements for completing this card. I have this images stamped onto a watercolor paper. I have stamped these two images. I'm planning to use them in this card. I'm just going to color them using my zig markers. portion is done. I'm just going to fussy cut both the images now. I'm going to leave a tiny fine border, white border around the image. Both my images are fussy cut now. I am going to assemble all of them onto my card base. For preparing the final card, I have cut two white cardstock of this size. The masked area, the white parts, I have cut the two white cardstocks of the same size, so that I can just layer them up to create some depth. Now what I am going to do is I will be assembling this using some foam tape, and I am going to assemble my entire card. Before I do that, I need to add some fine details to the card. There are these images of these tiny fishes which I am going to stamp onto the cardstock directly. I'll be using distress oxide to stamp these. This is broken china. So I'm just randomly going to stamp these 3 fishes. I'm just basically trying to cover up all the blank areas. And I don't want to give any focus on to the fishes in the background, so I'm just coloring them with a monochromatic, giving them a monochromatic look. And this is how I'm going to assemble my card to this background. At this point, I don't mind that the top layer of my card does not match the bottom of it, because I am anyways going to cover the entire white part over here, so it is not going to be visible. But at times when you are layering you have 2-3 layers, it is necessary to see that the whites of both the layers match each other. So here I am just going to mount it onto the top of my card. So here I have created a depth over here. Similarly, I am going to mount the second part. The sentiment to the card now. We use this sentiment which says swimming by to say hi. I later on realized that even before I mounted this piece of paper, I should have stamped before mounting this, but somehow I forgot doing that. So I'm going to use the Fine black onyx ink to stamp my sentiment. Lastly, I'm just going to use a black gel pen, any regular gel pen, to just go over the fine details of both the images. So lightly over them. My card is ready. Hope you enjoyed the process. Thank you.